Sleep is good. I've learned.
Got a lot of it today.
Well, you did you?
Night. I did.
I wish I did.
I slept in for a change. We should talk about this on the show.
We should. I had a horrible migraine headache, but it finally went away. Everything's fine now. I only get those like once a year.
Oh,
So I guess I'm done.
good. You've met your quota,
I
and the
guess
rest
so.
of the year will be perfection.
In theory, it's all gone.
What's Brian drinking?
Some sort of sody pap.
He's drinking that new
Oh.
Coke Zero with the orange vanilla.
Kim's at the store right now picking it up.
Cool. When I was looking for the honey brunches of chicken and waffles cereal, they didn't have that, but they did have this, and so I'm like, oh, all right, getting this.
Well, that's good. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to try it. And somebody says we already talked about it on the show, but I don't remember.
We didn't. I think because I talked about it or showed it while I was recording Coverville on the stream yesterday, and they might have seen that.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, you had it on this show, Scott. I can't believe you don't remember. Then they had this big back and forth about how Scott forgets everything. I'm like, I swear to you, we haven't talked about or orange flavored Coke. It just hasn't happened.
Right.
I'm sure of it.
Never talked about it.
Shut a lot of people. Okay, we're going to exit that, and now we have notes. Okay, we're ready, and Dan will be here in however long till we pull him in.
Toot Sweet is when he'll be here.
In fact, I'm going to open Skype now because he's a Skype feller. Oh my gosh, mouse. Hold still. Okay. All right, this is it. Brian and I are recording and going, and it starts. Gotta have audio. Oh, hell's bells. TMS, what is this? 1666.
1666.
Uh-oh, number of the beast plus one. The beast plus one. Okay, saved. Okay, now we're good. Here we go.
It's the first anniversary show of the Beast.
Show of the Beast, exactly. What are we doing here? Okay, here we go. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMSPM, the science of the sneeze fart.
When you drunk call TMS.
Dan, the tabletop man, and more on this episode of The Morning Stream. PM.
This is The Morning Stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night.
Good.
TMS PM.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS PM. This is the PM edition of the Morning Stream. It's Friday, March 8th, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Good afternoon.
Hello, Scott Johnson.
How much do you weigh today?
Oh, we're going right into it, huh?
I'll get to that other stuff. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. This is important. We haven't heard it in a while. You just came back from Vegas and you ate a lot of crap there. So
I ate a lot of crap. I went to a buffet. Don't forget, I ate Italian food because that was the convenient thing. I had croissant breakfasts. No, one croissant breakfast and one crepe filled with Nutella breakfast while I was there.
Okay.
I've had king cake.
Yeah.
Since.
Okay. All right.
Since this, so my transgressions should be expected, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I am only 0.4 pounds up since last week.
That's good.
That's a trip to Vegas. That's king cake. That's a buffet. That's Italian food. That's
some level of alcohol, right? You had a little bit of that in there.
Muchly level of alcohol. Muchly.
I'm impressed. That must mean like your metabolism adjusted or something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
it's all on the right track. That's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was honestly going and thinking my bet was going to be 2 pounds. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be 2 pounds up, and I'm accepting that. I'm ready for it. I can accept this.
Sure.
And no, I was amazed. So it helped. I did go to the fitness center while I was at the hotel. The fitness center at the MGM Park MGM is actually pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
They've got lovely French doors for some reason. I don't know why.
I heard that before. It's supposed to be very nice there now. Yeah.
It is very nice. So anyway, and I've been exercising ever since I got back. Tina's been gone. Usually Tina's absence makes me eat a little bit worse than I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. It's a scary thing, Scott.
No,
so
I
I'm
think
going to
you've-
just be like, all right, cool.
I think you've trained it, and now that actually it's maybe even harder because like on this weekend you'll be going, well, I did fine last time. I
know,
whatever, and then you'll
exactly.
eat something big. Yeah.
I certainly could do that Freddy's Burgers because I had a buffet 1 week ago.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
This is how they get you, man. You got to be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. That's awesome. I would like to talk just briefly about the scientific discovery I made about the sneeze fart.
I saw this video tweet. I hope you've got audio.
Yeah, I do. In fact, I'm going to play it now so we can hear it and people have context. It actually farts first and then sneezes. So Here it is. Okay, so you get the and then sneeze. That's actual Van Taylor.
It sounds
Van Straw, my little grandson.
Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing, exactly. Hunting vampires and farting and sneezing. He does this every time. He farts, then sneezes. Not every time he farts, but every time he's going to sneeze.
Farts, apparently, is the problem. Fart allergies.
What we've learned is every time he has to sneeze, he will crank off a tooter right before he does.
Right? Oh, that's hilarious.
And it's pretty great, and you can listen to it all day. And these farts are just the cutest little nothings.
They're
like
really, really cute. You know, it's funny. You're talking about how your snore sounds like your dad. Van's farts evoke his grandpa. They sound like his grandpa.
A little bit. But I wanted to share that. So now you've heard this. Now you hear this. So there you go. One generation apart from each other. There you go. There you have it.
What's weird is the it sounds like there's no edited space between the two because it gets really quiet for the sneeze, or you've just edited the sneeze so tightly that there's no audio after the sneeze.
So the radio's on in the room when she filmed this, and the sneeze is so loud compared to the fart that I toned down the sneeze. So the only editing is I adjusted volume on the sneeze down and left the fart at full volume.
Gotcha.
So if you hear it, if you listen carefully, so you can hear the music kind of go away a little bit.
Yes.
Anyway, it's pretty cute.
That's fantastic.
He's upstairs sleeping right now, in fact, because they're over for dinner tonight. Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
All right. Hey, we also got a phone call I would like to play at the top of the show because sometimes Chad from South Carolina calls in drunk, and I'm pretty sure he did this time.
Oh, good. Chad from South Carolina. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's been a while, I have to say. I was on his show, had a great time on there. Finally got that worked out. Nicest guy in the world. Been listening to us and me forever. And he called in. It doesn't even matter. The topic of the call doesn't actually matter. It's just him. I'm sure that he's drinking because it sounds like drunk Chad. And secondly, I am sure that he was only thinking that the phone wasn't working, but it was working fine. So anyway, I'll play it. You'll get the context as I play it. Here you go.
Hey, Scott. It's Chad from South Carolina. I was listening to Night Attack, the movie draft thing, and you had just said something, and I was laughing my ass off. I had to stop the show because I had to call you. I don't think they're going to. This isn't working. Shit.
Is that the end of the call? Is that where it stops?
Yeah, he gets mad because he thinks it's not working and kind of yells at it, drops an F-bomb, which I bleeped. Here, I'll play that last part again.
Stop the show because I had to call you. I don't think they're going to. This isn't working. Shit.
I don't know what
Is it working?
He was really mad. He was super mad, and then he hung up. And then he did actually call back. And now I'm even more convinced that he's drunk because the actual question was just about a John Lithgow film that I was confusing with a different movie, but he knew what I meant because he says he's listened long enough, and it was fine. That was all great and everything. But Chad, I had to share your broken call, buddy. I hope you're okay with that. We mean nothing but the happiest feelings when we play your call.
Oh, absolutely. I want to go drinking with Chad.
Yeah, no, he seems like a party every day and every night.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Anyway, so there's that. Also, you're seeing Captain Marvel today.
I am. So the original plan, when I bought tickets back on February 7th, a little over a month ago, because it's like, tickets go on sale, I'm buying them, and I decided, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buy 4 tickets, and Tina and I are on the A-list. So technically, I bought 3 tickets from my account. Tina bought 1 ticket from her account, and one of my seats was free and her seat was free because it all fits into that AMC A-list thing, right?
Sure.
And I decided, all right, well, what I'm going to do is go down the list of the couples I know who'd want to go see this and offer it to the first one. If they turn it down, then offer it to the second one. I thought, all right, a month is enough lead time to do something like this. First people I contact, my uncle and aunt, my ankle and aunt.
Your ankle and aunt.
My ankle and aunt, George and Barb, because George, of course, is the biggest Marvel fan I know. And he immediately says, yes, we'll take him. We're in. And I'm like, all right, good. No need to go further down the list. I'm set. Excellent.
Yeah, you have your couple.
Fast forward to yesterday.
Uh-oh.
March 7th, 1 month after I bought the tickets and the day before the film. Now, I believe, and I'm working on this assumption that AMC has a deal. Well, I'll kind of break the bad news. George said, "Oh, darn it, sorry, we can't make it. Is it, can you find somebody else to go? If not, then we'll pay for the tickets."
Right.
And he sends this to me at 7:05 p.m. March 7th, which is 24 hours and 5 minutes before the beginning of the film.
Yeah, because normally you need 24 hours to cancel, right?
Exactly. If you cancel within 5 minutes, or if you cancel before 24 hours before your film starts, you can get your money back. So I'm like, well, okay, I guess I can't really start offering it to anybody else. The next on the list would have been like the Spagnolos or Civ or something like that to see if they could arrange a babysitter. Probably not going to be able to arrange a babysitter in less than 24 hours, plus less than 5 minutes, let alone, figuring out less than 5 minutes before the show. So
Are the Crazy Neighbors no good for this sort of thing? They don't like Marvel movies?
No.
Okay. Right.
No, and as much as I love doing everything else with the Crazy Neighbors, I don't like going to movies with the Crazy Neighbors because they're talkers.
Okay.
They are the people that that my type A personality when it comes to being in a movie theater just is like, no, don't talk. No, I don't care. If you need to go get popcorn, go get popcorn. Don't need to tell us about it. Just go.
Yeah, that would drive me
Don't ask
crazy.
me who that person is. Just watch the movie. It'll be explained. That sort of thing.
Sure.
Everything else I love doing with Crazy Neighbors, but going to movies. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Seeing Mary Poppins with them was a blast because.
Oh yeah, because she's a huge fan, right?
She's a huge fan. She started singing along with the music and clapping her hands at exciting parts and stuff like that. That's my favorite movie experience with them.
I wonder if they would have been fun at the Bohemian Rhapsody thing because she's a big Queen fan, isn't she? You told me before.
She is, yeah.
She might have been.
They both are. They would have been. They would have probably been great, and they would have sung along with that, but they would have gotten all the lyrics wrong because that's also their thing. But they sing along with the stuff.
Yeah.
But they always get lyrics wrong.
And if there's superpowers, magic, laser swords, forget it. You're not taking them to those movies, right?
No. Yeah, there's no point. Yeah. So it's like, all right, I'm just going to go and cancel the tickets. And so I go into the AMC site and I go, it says view your tickets. And I see my tickets and I see that I've got 2 tickets paid for and 1 ticket free. It says request refund. I click the 2 paid tickets, hit, all right, refund my money. Yeah. Perfect. All right, good deal. Then I notice that my ticket says G5.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking, wait a minute, did we have G4, G5, G6? And then I immediately call Tina, and she's in El Paso right now. Mm-hmm. She's flying back from El Paso right now. I text her and say, open up your AMC app really quick and let me know what seat you have. She says, oh, I've got G3. Why? So we've got G3 and G5, which means when I deleted the tickets, delete the seats, and it didn't give me the option. I said buy 3 seats, and AMC stuck my free one right in the middle. I don't know why they would do that, but whatever. But that means that 4 and 6 are now are officially open.
Okay.
And I don't know if somebody maybe said, well, I'll buy those 2 seats and I'll just ask the person in the middle if they don't mind moving one way or the other. I could see that happening if they see those 2 seats on the app available. Right. I'm hoping that's the case. Or at least if the person is solo, we should be able to say, do you mind? AMC screwed up our tickets and separated us by
totally.
1.
Yeah, I'll bet you can get them to move, but that's annoying because now you have to deal with it,
Now I have to talk to people.
No, nobody wants to talk to anybody.
And I don't want to
going to movies.
I don't want to owe the person who's going to be talking or chewing loudly or taking their shoes off. Did I tell you about that when we saw? I think it was, what was the last movie I saw in the theaters? What Men Want or Happy Death Day 2, one of those two fabulous Oscar-worthy films. The person to the right of me, the group of 4 people, did their little recliners, and then they took their shoes and their socks off and started rubbing their toes on the glass that divides
Not cool. Not cool,
the
dude.
half line of glass. I know. It's like, what are you doing? Why?
Oh, I'd be so mad. Were you mad? You're probably really mad.
I was mad. I mean, I don't know if they were wearing socks, but they were barefoot. It was like, on the glass with their bare feet. What are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Is there a worse sound than somebody's wet, nasty, freaking smelly feet rubbing on the glass?
No.
Plexiglass?
It doesn't stink, but still is like, what? What's,
Yeah, what are you doing?
Can you only enjoy a film if you take your shoes off? Maybe you should stay home then.
It should be a law. I'm telling you right now.
There ought to be a law.
It's pretty gross. Did you, okay, so that's what, right after this, we're done today and then you're out?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Basically, show's done. I meet Tina outside. We hop in the car. We drive to see the movie.
That's fantastic. That's good.
That quick.
I'm jealous because Carter and I were planning on going earlier today. And she had something come up. No one saw coming. She had to take care of it. So she was gone most of the day and she was super sad about it, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it together and try to see it tomorrow sometime. I don't know when. And so so when you send me a text tonight, earlier you said I'll send you five spoilers, only one is true.
Right.
I like that game. I'm
going to say 4 things that happen in the film.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you 5 things that happen in the film, 4 of which will be lies.
Yeah, 4 of which will be totally untrue. And I want to, because that's kind of a fun game. I want to see if I can figure out what you lied about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that, will you? That'll be fun. I'll watch for it.
Okay, we'll do.
All right. We're gonna roll right into Dan the tabletop man. Oh yeah, that's right. Dan's back.
Right on.
Apparently he's got some awesome story to tell us. So very excited about this. Oh my gosh, that's so loud. Hi, is this Dan?
Hi, is this Scott?
Ooh, that's a sexy voice reply I just got from Dan.
How are you?
I'm good, man. I feel like we haven't seen you for a while. All our schedules didn't align right in the last few weeks, and it sucked. So it's really good to have you back, man.
Yeah, well, great to be back. I just got a notification that I got tickets tonight for Captain Marvel. I got G4. I don't know if you guys know where anybody that'll be sitting around.
Oh, that's right. And you have this rule where you won't budge from whatever you're assigned, right? You just have to be there.
Yeah. Right, and I actually like to lean out so that I'm kind of hugging the 2 people next to me. It really makes them uncomfortable, but I just like to show the love.
Your shoe situation.
Yeah,
you keep your shoes on?
Actually, my wife was just making fun of me this week because I'm very much a socks and shoes guy almost at all times.
Yeah.
Because my kids and my wife love to run around outside, and I'm like, put your damn socks and shoes on, would you?
Same, dude. Especially in North Carolina, you're gonna go out there and get like those chigger things, those rabid little freaking biting bugs that eat your feet.
Oh yeah,
they're the worst.
Yeah, and it just drives me insane. I have a hand thing and a feet thing. I just don't like those dirty. So just seeing people's feet out, it would drive me insane if they were sitting next to me at a movie theater.
Well, good thing you're not sitting between Brian and Tina, because Brian does not keep his feet or his hands clean.
I thought I heard that they held feet. They don't like to hold hands. They held feet in the theater. So that would be a little weird to be across me.
That's exactly what Tina and I do, yes.
Oh my gosh.
We play footsie the whole time.
Yeah, just picture that for a minute, everybody listening.
We put kernels of popcorn on our feet and try and flick them into our mouths.
That is a classy thing to do.
A little extra seasoning, a little extra cheese on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, exactly. Oh, did we get kettle corn?
Yum. Well, all right. On that happy note, hey Dan, you said to me, normally you come on and we'll have a fun little, maybe a moment or two about something in your business, your world of pharmacies and drugs and weirdos and all that, and that's always fun. And then we go on to board games. You let drop earlier to me on a text that you have a really great pharmacy story to tell me, or pharmaceutical
story. It's not necessarily a great story. It's just kind of one of these WTF stories. So I don't know if you guys saw this. This was I think it happened on Valentine's Day. So it's not a great happy-go-lucky story, but close by us in Garner, North Carolina. That is the if you may remember a Scotty McCreery. He's from Garner, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, American Idol winner Scotty McCreery.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So a pharmacist was working in a Walgreens in North Carolina, Garner. And a guy came in, and it was a patient that they knew. Apparently, this guy, I don't know what kind of drugs or what, I don't know if it was an opioid thing or just somebody just trying to get something too soon, but they couldn't give his meds. And the guy shot the pharmacist and the technician.
That's not good.
No, not good at all.
That's bad.
The technician is still in a hospital, and we're all hopefully he's getting better. The pharmacist just left the hospital recently, within the last week or so. And I want to say, I know I don't want the law geek to legal geek to get mad at me. Allegedly shot the pharmacist.
Okay, yeah, he'll get all over you for that.
I know.
And that man's name was Scotty Mc. No, I'm kidding.
No, but I mean, it's just crazy how the type of stuff. I've had some wacky things. I haven't been in retail in like 10 years, thank God. But I mean, some of the weirder stuff you had. I had a guy who got mad at us for one reason or another, and he said that he had hepatitis, which we knew, but he licked the $20 bill and put it on a counter. So he said, "I hope you get hepatitis. I'm so mad at you."
Wow.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Why? What? Because you wouldn't do what for him? What was
it? It was something along the lines like, hey, your prescription will be 15 minutes, stuff like that. It was something so minor, and the guy was mad at us that night, probably having a bad day, and just.
I cannot. There is not a scenario I can think of in any part of my life where that I would ever come to the point that I would lick a thing and put it on the table and say, "I hope you get hepatitis." I can't imagine where I'd have to be mentally to do that.
Unbelievable. I had also had a guy, and this was one of the stranger ones. So forgeries are pretty rampant in the pharmacy world, and this guy made a photocopy of his OxyContin prescription. This is even before. I mean, this is so far ago. Like there was nothing even thought of the crisis, but people were still making forgeries of different controlled substances. OxyContin prescription. He took a photocopy, cut it out like it was a prescription, but the idiot didn't even try to change like the date on it or anything. He brought it to the same pharmacy and tried to hand it to us, and I'm like, this looks really familiar. So we went ahead and looked back at the old scripts, because you got to keep all that stuff on file.
Yeah.
And when he came back in and we told him, no, we couldn't fill it. It's a photocopy of the old prescription. He tried to say, oh, I must have gave you the wrong one. I make those photocopies for my own records. And I was like,
wow,
not quite sure. Yeah. And he got so mad at us, and I didn't even call the cops or anything. He got so mad. He said, I'll be waiting outside for you when you go to your car tonight. So,
wow. So threat and everything. Okay.
He comes in 2 weeks later. Comes in to fill a regular, a normal prescription.
Comes in 2 weeks later. Are you ever going to come outside?
No, we're like, sir, we can't fill scripts for you here anymore. You're going to have to transfer out. He's like, what? I'm like, you threatened me to beat me, to fight me in a parking lot. He goes, oh, no, I wouldn't do something like that. I was like.
So, all right, I got a question, and maybe it's a dumb question. But the pharmaceutical industry and its and things surrounding it, including the customer facing end of it, which you have to deal with a lot, has always been a cool profession, an honorable one with the people would come in, ring ring, oh, it's old Bill with his need for the thing. Here it is, Bill. Thanks for coming in. Ring ring.
The number one trusted profession for years and years, and then they used to flip flop with nurses all the time. Pharmacists have gone down to like 5 through 10 recently, and it's probably all because of social media, and everybody thinks we're overcharging everything. But I'm sorry, go back to your question.
Well, it kind of leads to me. It's actually good that you said that, because I think that's kind of along the lines that I'm making my assumptions. Do you think that as the people who walk in get worse, guys licking $20 bills and stuff like that, do you think that that's just put a pox on your job? Like, do you feel like that's just unfairly making you guys look like because you have to deal with this riffraff, and then that riffraff has a Twitter account,
Oh, right. So there's two things that are at work now. Like, we live in a society where it's instant gratification for everything. Everybody, fast food, everybody wants everything yesterday. And they don't realize that, things take time. I mean, we are really healthcare professionals, and we have to make sure that what we're giving you not only is the right thing, that it's still not going to kill you. Sometimes, if Ibbott's got a penicillin allergy, the doctor sometimes will still write for penicillin. And we've got to be there to make sure that he doesn't keel over that night. So those things take time. And I don't blame people for getting aggravated for, being, waiting a while, because where do people go first? They go to the doctor's office, and I've been in the doctor's office. You go in there, you wait. And then you go to the doctor, you go to your waiting room, you wait some more. Then the doctor comes in, he goes out, you wait some more. So you've already been through the ringer. So I have nothing but just utmost respect for people that are already annoyed when they get to us, and then we tell them it's going to be another 20 hours more, and then they get mad at us. So it's hard to tell people to have more patience after, and sometimes they're with sick kids, and you're trying to get them out of there as quick as possible, because not only is their kids sick and they don't feel good, but they've been dealing with it all day. So that also is hard. It's not necessarily those acute things that that you have to deal with, and those are fine. It's when day after day somebody comes in. The hardest part is on their bottle, on your bottle, it says no refills remaining. They come in, they're like, I'm out of medicine, refill this. I'm like, well, there's no refills, you got to call your doctor. Oh, what do you got to do that for? The other guy would just give it to me in a bottle. No. Right. And that's when they get mad, and you're like, those are the harder ones to deal with. Or and the insurance company that wants people to have to have the last, usually insurance companies will give you 25% of your, as long as you've gone through 75% of your month's supply, you can refill it. And some insurance companies want you to go like to the last day, and that makes us look bad, because we're like, no, your insurance company is saying we can't fill this right now, so we can't bill it. I mean, we can give it to you, but you got to pay for it, and that sucks too. Yeah. There's just it's more, insurance is ruining everything. The cost of everything is ridiculous, and a lot of times for good reasons, but sometimes it's not. I mean, sometimes these drugs don't cost and they cost a lot more than they really should, and that's a pain in the butt too.
Every time anybody goes opioid crisis or something, my brain goes, Dan has to deal with those people.
Right, exactly. Sees it on a daily basis from those yahoos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which sucks.
We had a doctor that used to write for 500 and 600 OxyContin at a time, and he was a psychiatrist. And he lost his license, surprisingly enough, but he actually came in and was yelling at us because we refused to fill something for a huge amount, because he's like, well, I'm treating their pain. I'm like, you're a psychiatrist. Well, they're still in pain, and I'm treating it. I'm like, we can get into like ethics of all that stuff, but man, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And you're still talking 15 years ago, before everything got crazy.
Yeah, and then he licked your face and said, there's your hepatitis, and ran out. Well, all right. That sounds like another amazing week in the life of Dan Patrice. But you also play a lot of really cool tabletop stuff.
Yes,
so
I do.
Tell me today, what do you got?
So I heard your daughter, and you've got family over tonight.
Yeah, we do. Well, my daughter, my son-in-law, and then little boy are all over tonight.
So when you have family gatherings like this, a good thing to play. You remember Yahtzee?
Oh yeah.
You guys remember Yahtzee?
Of course.
Right now, the big type of games that are very, very popular and are catching on like crazy are what they call roll and write, where you're basically rolling and writing things down on paper and stuff. So they've coined it roll and write, and Yahtzee was pretty much like the original roll and write. So now a lot of games are coming out, and they're basically your perfect gathering games. There was a game called Quicks that's in Target now, and things like that. So a couple of ones that I wanted to point out to you guys. One of the best games of last year was a game called Ganz schön clever. It's because it's German. It's called That's So Clever. It's out now in the U.S. It's by Stronghold Games. Ganz schön clever. It's also available on iOS.
Yeah.
And so the thing about this is, and this is going to probably scare you just looking at this piece of paper. So
oh my gosh!
So it looks really, really intimidating, but it's one of those where the second you know what you're doing, it all just makes sense.
Okay.
And this is, you absolutely, without a doubt, Johnson, and you too, Ibit, buy this game on iOS when you're done with the show tonight, because Ibit, especially you can sit there waiting for your movie. You'll play this game about 10 times while you're waiting for your movie.
Really?
Okay. iOS. I think it's only like $3.99.
It does look crazy. I'm looking at the score sheet right now with the little blue and yellow section.
Yeah,
green
that
section.
looks hardcore.
Well, so what you do is you're basically rolling all the different colored dice, and the person whose turn it is will pick one die, and they'll use that. They'll cross off a section of their board, and then anything that's less, the number is less than that die, gets put into the side. It calls it on a bowl. They put it. You're basically putting it to the side. You get to use 3 dice on your turn, and of the dice that are left over, all the other people on the table get to use one of those dice, whichever one they want, and they cross it off. So you're constantly doing something on other people's turns, which is pretty cool too. And then, as you're crossing off other things, you're triggering, you may be able to use an extra die, or you get a re-roll, or you get to cross off another section. So it's everything you get this really cool combo feel to it. So that's what makes it really, really good. Now, there's also the sequel to this. It's called Doppel Schon Clever. It's like Double So Clever. Don't mess with that one yet. Get this one, because that one is really freaking hard. But the Ganz schön Clever is really, really good, and I highly recommend it. It's perfect for those gatherings where it's just a beer and pretzels, or just very chill game where you're sitting around, just watch TV, or you're having dessert and stuff like that. You're just rolling some dice and crossing off some things.
And it's a German. This is a German-made deal. Is that
It's
why?
an original, yes. It's originally from Germany, but it is out now in the States. I think it's only about $20 from Stronghold Games.
Okay.
It's the designer is Wolfgang Warsch. He's really hot. He had 2 or 3 games up in the Spiel des Jahres and the Kenner Spiel des Jahres last year. Another really good roll and write. Fleet the dice game.
Fleet.
Like as if you had a fleet of you're on the high seas. Like you're
right.
Fishing boat captain.
A fleet. Yeah, got it.
Fleet
now.
the dice game. So now what's crazy about this, and this you want your mind blown even more. This one has 2 sheets.
Oh, look at that, Brian. Good
And-
Lord.
Man,
Oh my God.
again, it even makes even more sense when you learn it again. So you're going to be you're getting different licenses. You're basically a boat captain. You're going to get shrimp boat. You get a shrimp boat captain. You get a shrimp license, a cod license, a lobster, swordfish, oyster, all things like that. And each one of them comes with it gives you basically a player power. And you're going to be kind of rolling the dice, and then each person is going to draft one of the dice, and it's going to let you do something, whether it's going to let you do something in the harbor or the market, or even just get you to cross off another section of the the licenses. And then the next person drafts one, and then when the last person drafts one, there'll be 1 die left, and then everybody gets to do that thing. And you're basically getting income. It's real simple. You're just kind of getting points at the end. You do this about 10 rounds. But again, very, very chill. A real fun, light drafting game. Again, you have to learn the game. But once you learn it makes total sense. And it's very, very easy. Johnson, you'd love both of these games. And I know, and this actually is also being developed for an app. It's not out yet, but it's being developed. I think it'll be out probably sometime in the fall.
Yeah, watching these guys play on table, it looks very like this could be software. It's that kind of game.
Totally.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm looking at the Board Game Geek page, and somebody just brilliantly has done those like slide-in sheet protectors, and they're just using dry erase on that.
Yep.
So that's brilliant. Why wouldn't? Yeah, it's like
Why
all
wouldn't you do
that's a
that?
brilliant
Well,
way-
you can absolutely laminate them and use dry erase markers for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So I don't know if you knew this, Dan.
Yep.
But at our TMS Vegas meetup in April, it's looking very likely like we're going to have a bunch of board games there. Now, I'm not saying Dan has to change his plans and make an emergency trip to Vegas to hang out with
Oh,
us.
he does. He does.
Oh,
I swing
all
by
right.
the pharmacy on your way there, and I have
Yeah.
a list of things I need you to pick up for
Yeah,
me.
Brian's got some stuff.
You know what? I keep forgetting. I remember hearing you say something about it, but I'll have to find out what the weekend it is, and I might have to do something
Yeah,
about that.
because it could be just a fun little getaway. No pressure, no hype. Nerdtacular's a very stagey kind of intense thing. This is way more chill. And the Saturday
more
stuff we're planning would have a bunch of board games and people chilling, board game style chilling.
That's right.
So I'll text you the details and you can decide.
Absolutely.
No pressure. I just want to put it out there.
I'd love to, man. Just to hang out with you guys and play some board games and chill.
Yeah, and there are people in our chat room who'd love to meet you. Yes, sorry. Go ahead,
Oh,
Brian.
for sure. So one of the things I picked up recently when I was at, we had a Denver Tadpole meetup a while back, and we played this game that somebody had brought. It wasn't one of the ones at the board game place, but somebody had brought it, and it was a climbing game where you had little bricks, all the different colored bricks, and you could only move up 1 step. And so you could either place a brick here or place a brick over there. And the object was to kind of get your guy up to the top. And he was saying that there's a newer one that's more modernized or more.
I think the bits are a little better on it. I think it's called the Climbers.
Is it?
Santorini is the one that I.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay, so there is one that's Santorini is it's really cool. The base game of Santorini, basically it looks amazing. The base game of Santorini is pretty good. It's very much a puzzle where you're trying to get those little guys to the top, like you said, with the bricks. Actually, look up the Climbers too, because the way you described it, you'd be like, oh wow, I did just describe the Climbers. But the Santorini, when you use the kind of advanced game of Santorini, there's player powers. Everybody drafts, or you get random player powers.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the climbers was the one that the guy brought.
Okay.
He brought a pre-release version of the climbers. That's the one he brought, and then he says, "Oh yeah, there's another one called Santorini that adds these like god powers." And that was actually on Amazon yesterday for $17. I'm like, "Oh, I'm grabbing that. I love that game."
Ooh, Santorini for $17? That's a
Santorini
great
for
deal.
$17.
Is that a good deal? I don't know.
Wow.
It seems all right. Ooh.
I mean, there's not a whole lot in the box, but it's still a pretty good deal for that game.
It's a cool looking. Oh, these meeples.
Yeah, look at that base, right?
Yeah.
That the mountainy base, craggy deal.
Oh, I'm all about that base.
I do like Santorini better than the Climbers. The Climbers is also very much a puzzle, but it kind of becomes very, very mathematical towards the end. I mean, Santorini can too, but those player powers just add a whole nother layer and a lot of fun to it.
Oh yeah, and it's still $17. I'll put a link in the chat room right there.
Ain't got no Santorini. Now you can get it for $17.
That's right, $17. Normally 30, get it for 17.
Hey Dan, do you? I know I don't think we've ever talked about this. We're always talking about different tabletop experiences, but do you, or have you, or are you playing, or plan to, or have in the past played D&D on a regular basis at all?
I have in the past.
Yeah.
I haven't. The hardest thing is getting a regular group together to play regularly. But man, I would love to play again. I just haven't. It's been years. I mean, I grew up. That was one of the first games I played for years. I mean, I still have first edition books in my garage.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You should hang on to those, especially the art books. They're so cool.
Oh yeah,
that stuff's ridiculous.
Well, the reason I love D&D is the greatest.
Well,
it's so much fun.
The reason I ask is I played a bunch when I was a kid, and then long chunk of time where I didn't touch it. Just for whatever reason, I just didn't. Probably the same thing. Didn't have the group I wanted, or friends I was working with or whatever didn't seem interested. And it wasn't until this There Will Be Dungeons thing that we're now a year into that I really started to play like a meaningful game again, with a few exceptions in between, little small one-offs and stuff. And man, I forgot how much I love that thing. And so every time you're on, I'm like, I need to ask Dan how he feels about D&D, or if he's got an opinion about it in the more modern context.
Feel about D&D?
And it sounds like you're down with it. You're down with the D&D.
Oh, I love, man, just getting into characters. You know, there's a lot of fun with just getting into the meat and potatoes of like the just the stats and the rules and stuff. But the game systems. But just kind of getting into the world and role playing. That's great.
It's so much fun.
And you guys got a perfect brain to run you guys through. I mean, his brain is it's cavernous and wide.
Yes, it should be studied. It should be studied. It's got fecal matter on it. It's a weird place to be. But also, I'd say this: Gloomhaven is a good example of like a more modern, not take on D&D, but there are elements there, right?
Absolutely. So Gloomhaven is exactly. I said it's the game that I waited my whole life for because it's tabletop D&D and it's co-op. So you're playing, since you're playing against the game, but it feels like you're playing D&D because you have control over what your character is doing. But there's also this whole world. You're leveling up. You're getting items, and then you can you can unlock other characters, and then you could retire, and then it's like starting up a new character.
I gotta get Gloomhaven.
It's so good.
Should I just get it? I should just get it. Is it like a 9-hour? You got to donate like 9 hours to it, right? Every time you touch it.
Oh man! So let me tell you, Scott, don't get it because you'll never play it. I'm not even kidding. I would love you to have this, but you're never playing this.
You don't think I'll ever play Gloomhaven?
No.
Okay.
Not unless me and Ibit lived next door to you, and we were saying, all right, Friday night we're playing Gloomhaven. Yeah. I've played Gloomhaven. We've done 16 scenarios. Each time we get together, we play for 8 or 9 hours, and we play about 2 or 3 scenarios.
Wow.
And we've been playing it now since probably 2 or 3 Super Bowls ago. We started at a Super Bowl is when we started the first night, and we played the whole night. So yeah, we've been playing a long time, and we've retired our first character recently, and that's it. Well, so that's how long we play.
What's the what would you recommend in terms of number of players? I know it can support up to a certain number, but what would you say?
I would say 3 or 4 max. I wouldn't go too high because then it's hard to get everybody together. That's why we've taken us so long, because it's hard to put that much time together and get the 3 people together. But 3 is a really good number. It's a very good. I mean, you and Kim, if she can hammer you down and she can get the rules and make you play it, then you guys would love it, because you can play it too, because it scales. The rules scale, the difficulty scales, so you can play it too, no problem. But I think for a group to really love it.
It says here you can play alone, which I don't know if anyone's tried that or not, but it says
you
can.
Oh, it's a huge solo game. You can actually run yourself with 2 players too. A lot of people that I've heard will just keep it set up in their game room, and they'll just play it solo. It'll be like, just go in there every other weekend or something, and they'll just sit down and they run their own two characters through it. Should
I wait and see what the video game's like when that's done?
Oh, absolutely, get the video game, because we have got to get a group to go to play that once it comes out. They haven't started releasing any sort of keys yet. I keep hounding them over there for it, but they're not ready for that yet.
Okay, keep bugging them. And because you're the board game guy with all the connections, you just keep bugging them, dude.
Oh yeah, I'll get us a bunch of keys, and we'll get 3 or 4 of us to go start playing through there.
Okay, nice. I would so do this. All right,
I'm in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, hanging with Dan is always a pleasure. Dan, is there anything else you want to mention? People can find you, that sort of thing, before we go.
Nice and easy. Just check me out on Twitter at Geek Jock Blog, and check out the Geek All Stars podcast.
Do that. Those are both good things. Dan, I hope nobody licks any more money. And I'll see you later. Gosh dang it,
dude. May your $20 bills be saliva free.
I'd be so annoyed if that were if that happened to me.
Totally.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
gosh dang it, dude. What kind of disgusting pig-like
It's almost
behavior?
assault, you know? I mean,
It is almost assault. It's right there. I would almost prefer you go ahead and assault me at that point so I can
hit
react.
me because exactly, yeah.
Erg. All right, that's gonna do it for that. Let's do some quick Twitter questions. We do have some time for that. And let's see. Wait, I can't. Oh, I am on the wrong tab. Here it is.
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
All right, this is where we take your Twitter questions. The Ask TMS hashtag on Twitter is where we do it, and I'm bringing them up now. There's going to be a bunch in here scattered in here that are Wendy questions because we used the same hashtag the other day.
That. Yeah, that's all right. We'll do our best to answer Wendy questions too.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do here. All right. Loey D asks, this is a good question. Now that Wendy is back in the States, does Scott have to give her back her hammock? No. She left it with us when they went to Sweden, and then she has not asked for it back. I asked her about it. She says, that's too much of a pain. You guys keep it. I said, all right. So we still have the hammock.
Nice.
Here's another one from... Oh, Amanda Lawson says... you've probably heard of it by now, especially with all your love of Mad Max Fury Road and so on, but would you ever consider going to Wasteland Weekend, which is kind of like Burning Man for Mad Max fans?
Right, but it's Mad Max Burning Man. Yeah, Burning Mac.
But it's Bernie Mac. It's the Bernie Mac Festival.
It's the Bernie Mac Con.
Yeah,
Yes.
very exciting. I don't know. Like, I'd consider it more than I would Burning Man because it's a thing I like. And maybe I'd want to see it once, but I think I'm past this point of I don't need to live out my fantasy in that harsh of a way. Like I can enjoy my love of all things post-apocalyptic through books and film and music and other things. I don't need to go and just be a dirty, disgusting pig for a week.
Right.
And pee on the dirt and eat awful food. Like I don't need that in my life. Maybe when I was like, if I was in my 20s, early 20s, and you just don't care about anything, yeah, I'd probably go. But now I'm just like, nah, I don't think so. You know, I need my favorite camping spot is a hotel room, things like that.
I have no desire for any of that business. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, but if Brian and I were a couple of young 21-year-olds. We'd probably go. I'd call you and go, Brian, let's go. Okay, whatever, dude. And we get in our cars and we'd go.
I just would like, let me Google really quickly where the nearest Holiday Inn Express is, because I'm driving back there. I'll get there first thing in the morning, no problem. Yeah. But I'm staying at a Holiday Inn Express or something.
Just my thing. All right, here's one. Oh, weird. We got a geek questionnaire. That's an ad. Someone's sending us ads with our hashtag. All right, here we go. That's one from Wendy. Hold on.
Dang it.
What was the best way to... Oh, we did that one. Okay, had a dream. I had a dream. This is Reverend Rob Horn, who says, I had a dream I was listening to TMS and Wendy was on the Chick-fil-A cow. What does it mean?
On the Chick-fil-A cow?
So
like
on
she was,
top of it, like riding it, like up on top.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Huh.
I can't answer this.
Yeah, what does it mean? Eat more chicken, apparently, is what it means.
I don't know what to think of that. All right, here's one. Tim Moore. When people tell me they are perfectionists, I often find this really means they can't make a decision and finish things and use the label perfectionist as a crutch for missing deadlines, apologizing for incomplete work, etc. Thoughts?
Yeah, there's something to that for sure. I mean, they almost go hand in hand, being a perfectionist and then being procrastinatory. Because you can easily explain it away. You can justify it with yourself by saying, oh yeah, I didn't get that done. It wasn't right. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think people probably do use it as a... Actually, I don't ever trust anyone who gives themselves a label that they then can use in some way as a tool.
Yeah. It's people who say, who go to a job interview and they say, well, what's your greatest weakness?
Yeah.
I'm too focused on my work, I'm too much of a perfectionist.
I'm too giving. I'm too...
exactly.
I'm too willing to trust everyone. Like, no, come on. Like
I make up things really well.
When people say I'm humble, Or they'll say, well, I'm a humble guy. Oh, don't trust that. I don't trust it.
Yeah. Nope.
You got to show me you're humble. You don't tell me.
Exactly.
And if you don't, if you're telling me, it better be after you showed me, or else I don't trust it. All right. Let's see. We got one more here from Jen Sandu Loveless.
Okay.
It says, is there somewhere, and this is for me and you, is there somewhere you get the guidelines, rules, etc. for that movie draft? I've been thinking about setting one up amongst my friends. Actually, I don't know. Is there? I
don't know if there is, because they give it to us. Bryce just gives us like the breakdown, which is really basically you have $100 to spend. You bid on the movies, pull them up in a random order, and then you don't even need, like, if you have a phone timer, phone timer, you don't even have to do the whole elaborate Draft Raptor thing that that Night Attack has set up.
Yeah, I see. Right,
just do it with your friends like that.
There's a funny reference in the 2015 post for this that says, listen to this, dude. 2015 movie summer movie draft. This is some years ago. Hey, it's the movie draft. We've been doing this for 5 years now. If you don't know what the rules are, F you. Okay, fine. Each team gets 100 fake dollars to bid on in the upcoming summer movies. Then whichever team movies grosses the most money over the course of the summer wins. They say it's that simple. Now, since then, I want to say they added like the percentage thing and some other stuff.
Yes, they had to. They added that the year of The Force Awakens because Brian bought that the first year and ended up losing.
Which was 2017, right? Yeah.
2017, right?
I think so. Oh, were we on this one? Yeah, we were. Me and you were on this one. Oh, what did we pick? Does it say? Frog Pants. We had Unfriended.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mad Max Fury Road. You may have heard of it.
That's right, yeah. Wow. Like, you even knew ahead of time that was going to be a...
I was so excited. We almost won that year, I think. We did pretty well.
We did. Yeah, I think we came in second that year.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect 2, Poltergeist, Terminator, Genesis, and Pixels. Pixels we bought for like $3. It was like...
Yeah.
It wasn't nice. Keep in mind, chat room, okay, here's the other rule. The rule is that you're not supposed to buy movies based on how good you think they're going to be. You're supposed to buy movies based on how well you'll think they'll perform in domestic box office numbers. That's it.
Right. That's why during the winter draft, I have to put my Oscar radar on check and say, yeah, it's going to be a good movie, but people aren't going to go see it in the theaters. They're going to wait and see when it comes to streaming.
Which is hard for... I think I shouldn't speak for you, but it sounds like it'd be hard for you because you really are in Oscar mode during that time.
Yeah, I totally am. Yeah, it's very hard for me to... Because a lot of these things will, have premiered at Cannes or at Sundance or something like that and gotten a lot of early Oscar buzz. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't translate to the average schmo taking his shoes off, watching a movie on the recliner in the AMC theater dollars.
Truth in advertising right there. All right, well, there are your questions. Thanks for those. Ask TMS is the hashtag to use. You can use it all week. And apparently, Geek Questioner is using it every day. I don't know who this is, but they have geekquestioner.com, hashtag GQOTD2019, and then Ask TMS hashtag. And it's all stuff about nerd stuff. But I don't know why it's in the days that we're not doing we don't have PM, it's just filled with their crap.
Really? Yeah. But it is intended towards us. It's not like somebody else who's
no, I don't think it is intended toward us. I just can't figure out.
Gotcha. So somebody else using that same... I see what you're saying.
I can't figure out what it's meant for. Like, it's hard for me to tell. Let's see if I can... Yeah, I can't tell what it means to them. Unless they're piggybacking it here because they know a bunch of people pay attention to this for our show.
Could be.
Yeah.
That.
Well, anyway.
By the way, we do have some Honey Brunches of Oats chicken and waffle cereal coming, courtesy of listener Dean. Thank you, Dean, for doing this. You totally rock. I can't wait to try this on the show.
He's the older handsome brother in Supernatural, Dean.
That's exactly who it is.
Okay. Yes. Awesome. I didn't know that was happening because we couldn't find it. We tried too.
Right. Yeah.
No luck. So.
No luck.
Bring it on. I'll even put milk in it. I don't drink milk anymore, but I'll do it for that.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't drank milk in
The problem with doing that, I mean, is that means you've got to, because when we do it during the show, you've either got to put the milk in ahead of time, or you put the milk in right before we try it, and then it just sits and gets soggy while we continue the rest of the show. So you basically get 2 bites out of it, and then. But you do you. You do you.
No. I think you're right. We have it in advance, or when you'd normally eat it, and then we'll come to the show with our thoughts.
There you go. Or you just do it in a little ramekin, right? You put you have the cereal in a little ramekin.
Yeah.
You put a little milk in there. You eat the whole thing. Done, and nothing's getting soggy.
Hold on. What's a ramekin? I don't know what that is.
It's what they serve creme brulee in, one of those little ceramic bowls that are
little. Okay, we have those. I didn't know they were called that though.
Yeah.
And I have a shot glass even. A shot glass.
Well, you could do that. That's
it says TMS on it.
A little shot of Honey Branches of Oats chicken and waffles.
That's right. Real quick here, a reminder about things are coming together for the meetup. We mentioned it earlier with Dan, and it's looking real good. So if you there are still a couple of tickets available.
There's lots of tickets available.
Are there a lot? I don't know how many we need.
Well, here's the deal. We can now. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say anything until the contract is signed on the Saturday night thing. We will have a lot of room, though.
Okay, we'll say that. We'll say that right now, if we were doing things the way we normally do them, we'd be about the ceiling of what we can do.
Right.
But if things go the way they're supposed to with the Saturday night plans, it sounds like we've got a lot more. So
we have a lot more room.
Which would actually, we have a lot of room Thursday, too, for that matter.
We do. Not a lot. We've got Thursday thing, they're expecting 125 to 150 people, but there's room for more because it's those stands. Yeah, I mean we've got space, and the Friday night thing, sure, however many people, right?
Yeah, that's true. What I want to make sure not to do is have enough people come, and then I don't want people not to be able to get into one, but only into another. That would be lame.
Right. No one's getting turned away at the door for any of this.
Good.
Oh yeah, Zoe asks, just checking, Scott does have his room booked at the hotel,
yes,
right?
Yes, I do. We did it early. It's all good.
Did you? Okay. I know I reserved ours. I haven't yet. I've reserved mine. I haven't yet squared mine away, but I need to do that.
Oh,
this
my
weekend.
wife, trust me, my wife, first thing she said was, "Did you do it this time?" Yes, honey, here's the info, and she took it and did it. So she did it for me.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'm doing it too. I'm going to do it.
She didn't trust me after my screw up last year. And that was all me, by the way. It wasn't Brian. That was me. I screwed that up bad.
Yeah, when you asked, I was like, "Oh crap, I screwed up." And then I found the text from you the text to you where I said, "Yeah, no, go here to this link and buy your room." And
yeah, you totally had me do it. I just didn't pay attention and forgot. So this year we're good. Thank you, Zoe, though, for following up. I appreciate it. Okay, that's it for the show. If you want to support this show, you can. And the reason there's even a 5th episode a week on Fridays like this PM thing, is because you do. So go on over to patreon.com/TMS and continue that trend, and we'll keep making these on Fridays. We really like doing them, and, it's worth it when you guys are bellying up like that. So big thanks to all of you. You can find us at frogpants.com/TMS and leave us a voicemail, like earlier from Chad. 801-471-0462 is where you'll send that. And you can also email us themorningstream@gmail.com. For all
leave
else.
Leave them sober, leave them drunk, just leave us a message.
Doesn't matter, yep. And his were short, he didn't leave the big rambling ones. We'll take those more than any others. Also, the website, frogpants.com/TMS. We play a song on Fridays as well. Brian will introduce it, and we'll play it out. What do you got?
That's right. Carl wrote in and said, "Greetings, Waldorf and Statler. Thursday will be my wife's 43rd birthday, and the day after will be our 6th wedding anniversary." Now, keep in mind, this actually is from about a week ago. Sorry, 2 weeks ago. It just didn't work out last week, obviously, and we had a bunch of requests for the previous week, so I had to push it to this week. So, Carl, if you're listening, this is for you. Carl says, "Tracy is my best friend, partner, soulmate, and she's my world. I couldn't function without her. I'd love it if you could play a cover of any Ed Sheeran song on the 22nd, 23rd, or any day around then." Well, this happens to be one of the days around then for her. She is my everything. Thanks, guys. Carl from the UK. Well, Carl from the UK, I know it's late, but I've got one for you right now. And this is cool because this was actually recorded there in the UK for BBC Radio 1's Live Lounge way back in 2015. I love this. This is a great cover. It is Ed Sheeran covering Hozier and Take Me to Church.
Hozier, I love their name.
Hozier.
It's not really Hosier, right? Like the people that do your hosiery.
I don't think it's Hosier. I think they pronounce it Hosier.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Who does my hoses? That's what I want to know. Is it a
You're
hosier?
Hosier.
A professional hosier.
I'd better consult my Ahusia.
All right, well, here's that. We'll play it now, and we'll be back on Monday, and then Film Sack this weekend also. So check that out. And there will be Dungeons on Saturday and Skim on Sunday.
Many things.
I have too many things. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I hate it! Oh, that was me. I didn't know that was me.
Wow, it was loud.
It was, man.